So, Precious, you have spent a lot of time in Washington working closely with the Biden administration. You cast the electoral vote back in 2020. Um, Hearing the official news today, what was your initial reaction? I know there's been speculation leading up to now.
Yeah, it was shocking. I was headed into one of the town halls for the tax that the senators were putting on about the tax plan, and as I was walking in, my phone just started buzzing, and when I looked down, I was like, "Oh no!" And then I started going to my official communication with the campaign as a senior advisor for the campaign here in Nebraska, and that's when I saw the news that President Biden had decided to step down for reelection, and so I was overcome with some sadness because President Biden has given us decades to this country. And to see that he is stepping down, from the reelection, it hurt. But I understand and respect his decision that what he did.
And even with the feelings that you felt, what are they now, knowing that there's a lot of support we've been seeing already with people backing VP Harris as the nominee?
I mean, like say, you have to like kind of lick your wounds and then know that you have a fight ahead of you. You still have this election is still critical and it's still the goal of November 5th, and that's making sure that we beat Donald Trump and JD Vance. And so after that, I mean, you see those positive messages and those are very uplifting. And then you see the message from the statement from the VP, and that was very uplifting. And then it said, you know what, y'all, it's boots on the ground. It's trying to really get in here and get this work done. And so I think that's where we're at. And I think everybody across the nation is mobilizing, being able to be in space with my fellow executive directors, and us to be able to talk and to be able to release what we're feeling and how do we navigate this, because this is new for everybody. And so for us to be trying to navigate this, and we just take the cues from the Biden leader, well, I'm sorry, from the headquarters from the campaign, as well as from the DNC.
And you kind of touched on one of the questions I was going to ask you is how do you see the Democratic Party mobilizing now in light of, I mean, this huge change?
I mean, I see the majority. It's a really big majority of the group. There's still going to be a little bit of stragglers. People who may still be on the cusp, but they have a few days to get on board and how they feel on this one. I think the main thing is talking to our delegates. We have 34 delegates that will be going to national convention next month, and so we've been in communication with them, and we'll have a meeting with them tomorrow to discuss the next steps. So I think it's just basically just trying to get everybody on board so that we can move forward. Because at the end of the day, we have to stay united in this, and we have an ultimate goal, and that is to win on November 5th.
Are you going to be attending the convention next month?
I will be attending the convention as executive director. I do attend the convention. I help plan the convention for our delegates, so I will be in Chicago with our delegates.
So how do you, what do you think the climate is going to be at the DNC next month?
Number one, I don't know. I mean, because again, this is all uncharted waters. We've never been in this situation, many of us there, and so I think we just keep moving and supporting the vice president as she rolls out what we see, who's going to be nominated as our president. I mean, for president on the ballot. I mean, we are showing full support for her, and so we now see who the vice president pick will be for this. And so I just think that they'll still keep going. We'll still give a good convention. We'll still come out with a candidate that's nominated for president of the United States.
And also, what is just your plan for the voters here in Omaha? How do you plan to work with them, maybe to help them understand what's going to happen next once we figure out what that's going to be?
We're getting calls and emails already, and we'll just continue to be supportive, listening to the issues, listening to our constituents here, making sure they know that we're behind them 100%. Our chairs already put out a tweet. If you have signs out there, put "Thank you, Joe" on there, until we get the new signs, because we don't know what those will look like. But we know that volunteers are calling, people are calling all over asking how can they get involved, what's the next step. And so I'm just telling them, just be on standby, because as soon as we get direction, we'll be able to send that out, and we will continue to do, because number one, even though this is a situation on the top of the ticket, we still have still have people running, Democrats running. We have our congressional races with Senator Vargas and Senator Carol Blood. We have Preston Love running for U.S. Senate. We have legislative candidates running. So we still have to carry on as business as usual. Just because one thing has changed on the ticket, that doesn't mean we stop doing the work that we're doing to get everybody else elected to office. So we'll continue the work that we're doing and making sure that all of our candidates have our support and making sure we're up and voting in and getting Democrats up and down the ballot voted in.
Anything else that you want to say or add to our conversation?
I just wanted people to remember, like I said in the beginning, that President Biden has given us decades of his work and his to this country. And I just hope that everybody would keep him and his family in their thoughts and prayers, as they did lend him to us to be able to speak for the American people in the fight for us. And so just hope and pray that everybody just continues to think about him during this time, because it's had to have been a tough decision for him.
All right.